The stone doors fall shut behind you as you step through the overgrown arch. Yet you immediately feel a presence, a power long forgotten. To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled.
Yes?
Well, blow me down with a feather. And here I thought this couldn't get any more impressive.
Then I'm guessing we got lucky? This is the Nexus?
Yes, we found Mullendeer's heart. So, as I said already to Har, if we're to find out anything about the bloodburn in this city, it'll be here. Do you see that massive pillar in the center? That's where the Shapers drew their energy from. They used it to communicate, to store knowledge, to power the mechanisms in their city, and to build some of their most magnificent creations.
So this is also some kind of archive?
Well, not in the traditional sense. I doubt you'll find a lot of books here.
Huh. And where exactly does that energy they channel in here come from? What is it?
Well, that's one of the great Shaper mysteries. There's many theories and few facts. But the most likely one is that it draws from some kind of world essence, the same we mages use to cast magic.
If something like that exists, why have I never heard about it before?
As I said, it's just one of many theories. I might be completely mistaken.
What did they create? Just creatures?
Well, obviously just a few very select items, such as, I suppose, the runes we found. Only the most skilled of their craftsmen were allowed to work on that altar you see over there. Being Zaklar, a runesmith, was one of the most respected positions in Shaper society, and only those of the priest caste were even considered. I'm guessing that whatever miracle allowed them to create these ghost watchers outside was also manufactured here.
Did you just say they used this place to communicate?
Yes. Apparently, some Shapers were able to communicate with each other by thought alone.
I've heard about that. But what does this Nexus have to do with it?
Well, their telepathy wasn't an innate skill. It was something the higher castes learned through somehow joining their minds to that pillar. They were connected.
I wouldn't want someone to be able to read my thoughts.
Well, I don't think joining oneself to that pillar meant your mind was an open book. The mechanics were probably a bit more complex. Either way, I suggest we take a look around, see what we can find. Niehaus Hammer. Do you feel that?
Energy. Seems there's still some left.
Yeah. And what's that? Looks like some kind of anvil?
Could that be where the Shapers forged their creations?
Very likely so, yes. Wait. How about a little experiment? That strange rune Lacane gave you. Could I, borrow it for a moment?
What for?
As I said, a little experiment. These shards we found on the ghosts outside. I think I might be able to combine them with our rune.
All right. Go ahead.
Thank you. Wow, that's interesting.
What?
The runes. They look alike.
So, Lacane gave us a Shaper rune?
Might be, yeah.
He seemed to think it was a gift from Aeonir.
Interesting. Well, I personally don't believe in Aeonir handing out gifts to his followers, but as you can tell by the Godstones all over the city, he played a role in the Shaper's faith too. So, technically, it could be both the Shaper rune and the gift from the Allfather.
And you're still sure you want to do this?
I am. It may take a while, so I suggest you take a look around in the meantime.
Sure. At least we'll be out of the blast radius that way.
Very funny.
Yes? Understood.
You got it. That way?
Will do. Got it.
Sure.
What's that?
Looks like a map of Fiara. A very old one.
So this is what the world looked like during the reign of the Shapers. That's fascinating.
Indeed. You see those markings? Glyphs. They look like someone carved them into the stone.
Can you make out what they say?
I've been trying, but
Yes, that's it. Over here, quickly!
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess
Isgrim?
Ah, there you are. I was right, it worked. Look,
I don't see anything.
just take a look. Here, Tar.
What the heck just happened? What did you do?
I don't know. The rune, it must have reacted to you somehow, Tahar.
Yes, but why? What did you do to it?
I joined it with the shards we found on the Ghost Watchers. I'm guessing that caused some kind of magical reaction when you, as the rune owner, touched it.
So we're bound to the city now.
No, of course not. But I think the rune got stronger. Still, I'll have to do more research on this. I can't help but feeling that these runes are an ocean and we've merely touched the surface.
Let's just hope there isn't a monster on the bottom.
Anyway, what now? We still haven't learned anything new about the Bloodburn or the song.
That's right, we haven't. But while I was working on the rune, a thought occurred to me. Remember how I told you that some of the higher caste shapers were able to communicate by thought alone, by telepathy? Frankly, I believe that's exactly what the song is. Telepathy.
You mean we're hearing the thoughts of a shaper?
The shapers are extinct, so no, but it might be someone else using shaper magic or sort of mental echo. The memories of the dead.
I'm not sure what you mean by a mental echo.
Well, the shapers left all kinds of traces, didn't they? And those specters we fought on the surface are proof that their magic is still prevalent. Also, we know they use telepathy to communicate, so who knows? Maybe this song is just a lost, forgotten thought that somehow made it through the millennia.
That's almost poetic.
The song is telepathy. You mean, what we are hearing?
Isn't an actual sound, but a thought translated by your mind, yes. That explains why not everybody hears it, doesn't it?
Why do we then?
Probably because of our magical gifts. It makes sense, doesn't it?
So, somebody is talking in our heads. That's bizarre. Be that as it may, how does that get us any closer to finding a cure for the Bloodburn?
Because it tells us what has to be done next. Reactivate the Nexus.
Why?
Because it might allow us to do the same thing that the Shapers did. Join our minds to that pillar. We could connect to the collective subconscious of an extinct race, which then again could help us understand the song and its origin.
That sounds intriguing. How do we reactivate it, though?
Good question. But I believe those two pedestals have something to do with it. I'm pretty sure they're what used to be conjuring the energy of this place.
And they're empty. So we need to find whatever was in there, don't we? A power source.
Yeah. The only question is how.
I think I have an idea. Let's get back to that map. I think Isgrim should take a look at it. Here we go. What do you make of this, Isgrim?
A map of old Fiara. By Niehaus, this is This is incredible.
Yes, but I was talking about those markings. They look as though they were added manually, don't they? I've started translating them already, but I'm stuck. Can you take a shot?
Let me see. Zaganar Zavuladun. Stones of... Wait. You're right. The stones of the essence and their location.
Stones of the essence? So they are the power sources we're looking for.
They must be, yes.
But why would someone hide the stones and then mark their location?
Who says someone hid them? Maybe they were just brought somewhere else. It's common knowledge that the last years of the Shapers were chaotic, and they might have had a good reason to abandon this nexus.
Then maybe it's not a good idea to bring them back, don't you think?
Well, the thing is, without the stones, we're stuck. We need this place up and running to understand the song. Even if my theory about it being telepathy is wrong, without power, we can't access the archive neither.
Then we need to find them.
Absolutely. And I suggest we start right away with...
Hold your horses, we're not getting these stones anytime soon.
Why?
Because if that map is anywhere near accurate, one of those stones is located in what's now Aeonir's Blade. No point going in there without an army.
The Iron Falcons. Right.
Iron Falcons?
You don't know. The Iron Falcons are an order that is protecting the tomb of Foil Darg. They're fighting the world's end, so to speak. What about the other marking, Iria? Maybe...
Hold on. The Foil Darg? The ancient evil?
Yeah, them. According to the lore, the Guardians locked them in this tomb. But the seal has gotten weaker as time went by, so for over 800 years the Iron Falcons have been protecting it. I'm surprised you know so little of your own country's lore, Tahar.
Well, my father was never interested in old myths.
The Fieldar aren't a myth, not at all. If it weren't for the Falcons, Fiara would be history by now. That's not to say they're a likable bunch. Word has it that they're fanatically religious, self-righteous pricks. But I guess living in the desert with only skeletons to keep you company does that to you.
What about the other marking?
That one's even worse. This land where the marking points to doesn't even exist anymore. It's right in the Black Sea.
Damn it, you're right. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that this island doesn't exist anymore, does it? Maybe the cartographers of our era simply haven't discovered it yet. We could build a ship, right? Sail there and find out.
Yeah, maybe. But again, for that we need support. Someone who can provide us with influence, money, and at least some troops against whatever we'll face there. Not to mention the fact, Tahar, that your former general has probably already sent his dogs on us.
Ideas?
What about that village mayor, Clara Farland? Didn't she tell us something about certain friends she has?
True. And there was a shapeshifter.
Yeah, though I still don't think this is a good idea. How about the Moorhair elves? You told me they're investigating the Bloodburn too, didn't you?
We fought them in Leonon. I doubt they'll be eager to cooperate.
They know they made a mistake. That Scryer, she snapped, and given General Noria's intentions, she wasn't even that wrong to do so. I'm pretty sure they'll listen to what we have to say, especially if they're struggling with the Bloodburn themselves.
All right, it might be worth a try.
Well then, sounds like we have plenty of options, doesn't it? Where do we start?
We should try our luck with the elves first. They know about the Bloodburn. Iria, do you know the way to Leafshade?
Yeah, it's a 6-day journey. Less if we find ourselves horses.
Good. Then let's rest some more and get prepared.
So, this'll be our base, won't it?
I guess so. Yes.
Niehaus Hammer. How about a tad more enthusiasm? We're in the ancient city of the Shapers. If anything, we should feel honored.
Well, let's just hope the city's defenses work better for us than they did for them.
I'll take care of that. Above all, we need allies.
We'll find them. What's next?
So, this is it, isn't it? Our base of operations?
So it seems.
An ancient shaper city on a quest to find a cure for the blood burn. And we're working for the purity of light. Sounds crazy if you say it like that. Just some weeks ago, I thought I'd be in Greyfell now, trying to make a fresh start as an innkeep.
Innkeep? You?
Hey, don't laugh. What's wrong with some honest work after years of defiling on the road? Getting up early in the morning, setting the tables, serving mulled wine and stew to tired, weary souls. Just a simple, honest life.
Innkeeping is fun, until you find yourself on your knees at dawn, clearing up the puddles of vomit and beer these tired, weary souls left behind when they were done carousing.
Quite the cynic, aren't you?
So, you'd leave it all behind? The adventuring?
You know. People always act as if these decisions are final. The only way to find out how much I'd like that kind of life is by taking a chance, isn't it? And if one day I wake up and find myself in need of a change, I can still pack up my things and hit the road again. Upsides of elven blood. There's plenty of time.
For what it's worth, I enjoy your company.
Sure you do. Who else would patch you up after the next monumental battle? Anyway, talk later, shall we? I'm sure you've got battles to prepare. Corporal? Need anything?
How are you holding up?
I think I'm good. And you? You're the pariah carrying out Aeonir's will, not me.
I'm good too.
Glad to hear it. So, can I help you with something?
Could you tell me a bit more about your homeland? Finn and Mir?
Well, it's not my homeland anymore, but yeah, shoot.
How is human culture different from elven culture?
I assume you mean Nortander from Finn and Mir? There isn't one elven culture, as little as there's just the humans. Generally spoken, though, I wouldn't say they're too different. Especially not compared to the orcs. Life is a lot slower, mainly due to our lifespan, and elves are even more defined by tradition than humans. They revere nature and value tradition and rules above all else, and they are extremely aware of what they say, how they say it, and to whom. Which also makes it very easy to offend an elf. I'm an exception in that regard, but that was something my vagrant years taught me. But then again, not all elves are like that. There are some who care as little about Ellen the White Tree and the traditions as a troll cares about his morning toilet.
What role does magic play among elves?
It's everywhere. Magic is considered a gift of Ellen, and it defines your standing in every possible way. We may have talked about that already, but the whole council who runs the country is made up of mages. Which is why the Purity will have a hard time finding followers in Finn and Mir, should they ever be naive enough to try.
I doubt that will ever happen. Elves have a very long lifespan. What's it like to live for so long?
Hard to say, since I don't know what a human body feels like. As an elf, you simply take it for granted. When I first realized how short a human life is during my travels, I was baffled. I've been on this world for 39 years now, and in the elven world, I'm hardly considered an adult. Here, I'd have delivered my 7th child by now. It's strange. That's the best way to describe it. But you know what I eventually came to realize?
Tell me.
That age doesn't necessarily make you wiser. I've talked to 30-year-old humans who understood more of the world than the ancient seers of Finn and Mir. It's all about experiences.
Interesting. There was something else I wanted to ask.
Sure. What?
You never told me why you fled Finn and Mir.
Oh, well, that's a long story. One I'd rather not discuss now, if you don't mind.
All right. Then maybe another time.
Yes, maybe. Corporal? Need anything?
This might sound odd, but why did you join me? It was me the Harbinger wanted.
Why are you asking? If you want me to leave, you can just say it. No hard feelings.
No, I just want to understand. You've been putting yourself in a lot of danger for our cause.
I guess so. Well, I hate to disappoint, but I don't think there's a particular reason. As you pointed out in the prison, I'm a fugitive as much as you are, and my best chance of survival was sticking with you.
Goodbye. Will do.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled.
Yeah, wait. What's that?
I'm sorry?
That thing you've got there, the shard. Can I take a look at it for a second? Niehaus Hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about this thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. Blazes Tahar. Sometimes I wonder why it's always you who find such treasures, and not me. Look, if you find more of these, please bring them to me as fast as you can. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that, I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Okay. If I find more pieces, I'll bring them to you.
You have to. Niehaus Hammer, I still can't believe it.
I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, that could work. I'll start working as soon as possible.
Great.
There we go. Thanks, Tahar. Ah, Tahar. How nice of you to come by.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable. Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
You seem to be quite excited to be here.
Why, of course I am! Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mullendir, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that rune LeCain gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place. Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
That armor you're wearing looks quite special. Is it from Windwall?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's from Windwall. I forged it myself. Why do you ask?
Well, our smiths might be able to forge you a better one. It looks quite worn.
What? No. No, that's not gonna happen.
Why not?
It means something to me. But if it's my protection you're worried about, I can do some work on it myself. You'd have to cover the expenses, though. I'm a bit short on material these days.
Fair enough. I'll let you know if I have some resources to spare. There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of a nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lekain wanted me to find.
Molandir.
Yeah, you know the rest of the story.
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondar Lekain?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aenir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky. And in all honesty, aren't Lekain and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only God. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic God, who was both the trinity of three different beings and the singular omnipotent God at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
So you think the purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his God doesn't have all the answers.
So you don't believe in Aenir's return? In the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lekain knows the answer.
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
Maybe you're right.
I certainly hope so.
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs, ghost warriors, and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past. Blasted, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no, for some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
True. It's a pity.
Well, I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
Found out anything new about the rune?
Well, so far all I can say is that what Lekain has given you is indeed a Shaper artifact, as we suspected. Now, I would write all this purity talk of the rune being a gift of Aenir off as religious nonsense if it weren't for the fact that the rune's energy actually interacts with the Godstones, shrines of Aenir.
Which means that the Shapers and Aenir are somehow connected.
Somehow, yes. And I'll find out how.
Goodbye. Understood. Got it. Will do. Understood. Mm-hmm.